But like you said, the play calling from EB, 1 minute is good, and then the next minute you're at 3rd and 1, and we're gonna sit in the shotgun. So, explain it to me, because to me, you're doing great. You're putting Sam in good situation. He's hitting the flats. He's getting the ball out of his hands. Bop, bop. He's doing all the things he needs to do, like you said, 300 yards. But then it's like the simplest of plays, and we have to make it so difficult. Like, what's going on with that, man?
No, it's a great question, and we even have Marcus. Yeah, this what he asked about it, and I think I'm going scheme here because we had multiple instances when it was 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Then the next drive, it was like 3rd and 2, where we could move the ball and we couldn't get 2-3 yards. Right. We couldn't get a yard. And while I understand that our offensive line is bad, but we can't consistently rely on them. But if it's already late in November and you don't have 3 or 4, these are my money plays when we need a couple yards, whether you need a yard or 3 yards, quick slants to Terry. If you don't have certain plays developed that you can go to, and instead your call on 3rd and 1 is a fade that your quarterback throws it 30 yards in the air.
Right.
Where's Nathan's? I can't defend that.
Right. I can't defend that. What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah. Like, that's the part that got me most frustrated was I didn't think we were going to beat Dallas. Okay. But when there were opportunities to make better plays out there, the calls were horrible. Like you said, EB had certain times in the game where he was doing really well, getting the ball out, because clearly their pass rush was a problem for us. Yes. Our offensive line was really bad in pass protection, and Dallas was able to put pressure on Sam. But we found ways to move the ball, to get the ball out of his hands. But then we had money downs, and EB choked. And we've seen a lot of that this year. There's been moments of he's been pretty good for certain parts of games, and then when we've needed him, it's like all of a sudden, finally, at the end of the game, he's like, let me run a slant to Terry and just say, you're my number 1 guy, get open, catch the ball. Where was that when we needed it 10 minutes later when the game was close?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things I remember. I was talking to Alex and Anton. I was sitting there messaging them, and the stat came up that Terry got the catch in the 4th quarter, and it said he had 3 catches. And I'm like, why are we not feeding this man? Why do we sit here and put him on this pedestal, but then we act like he's just another Joe Schmo? Like, we got to feed this guy. And then another thing that I've been noticing is I don't understand why we don't do this more up-tempo. You talked about late in the game when we needed the score. We need to play catch-up, so we're going quick. Right before half, when we ended up getting the touchdown that put us within 4, Sam is on the ball, quick, running that tempo. It's like when we slow things down, the defense we don't have time to do that. We need to keep them off guard and keep moving the ball. And it just feels like EB's to this point, his scheme. And maybe what Ben is saying is true. If EB's scheme is the issue, then do guys they need to find players for his scheme then after the season, or maybe move on from certain players that don't fit his offensive scheme. I think we have to put it in perspective. This man, we cannot forget that this man came from having Patrick Mahomes, who is probably the best quarterback in the league right now, Travis Kelce, who's probably the best tight end in the league right now, Andy Reid, who is right now with Bill Belichick kind of declining, the best offensive mind, or in the game. We've seen their talents, and I kind of think sometimes EB thinks I have these guys. I'm still kind of calling plays for guys like this, and we don't have that. We don't have that type of protection, that type of consistency at wide receiver, at running back. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna ask you this. This offense kind of almost seems like Chip Kelly's offense when he came to the Eagles, where you can pass, and it's quick. But when you need to slow the game down, or you need to establish a run, you can't do it.
Right.
Right. So it's just a lot of things that are frustrating, Will. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's good points by both Ben and by Marcus. And I think, honestly, I mean, we're seeing Terry is not on track to get 1,000 yards. No. All right. Jahan had a breakout rookie year when he was healthy, was phenomenal. And he's been non-existent this year under EB. And so there's a point in every game, and they mention it when, hey, listen, and Terry said this, sometimes they take me out of the game. Not on our side. The defense takes them out of the game with their coverages and whatnot. And that's going to open up other players. And we know that. And if that was happening, if we were getting explosive plays like that because somebody else is open, then we would. But EB is a better offensive coordinator than Scott Turner.
Yep.
But Scott Turner found better ways to utilize our weapons
Right.
than he has. And that's what has me really, really surprised on it. So I've really soured on EB. And one of the things that stats come up lately that shows the lack of separation that our receivers have. That so often when they're catching the ball, the DBs are around them. He's not finding ways to get these guys wide open to where they're getting a bunch of yak or they're just wide open in the end zone, like we saw at some of Dallas's receivers. That's problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go. The Washington Commanders. There it is.